Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now, unfortunately, the Atlantic has claimed yet again another home off of the Outer Banks. There you can see that home getting swept away by the waves. Cape Hatteras National Seashore reports that another unoccupied home on Tower Circle Road in Buxton collapsed overnight. This would be the 6th home in 24 hours to collapse on the coast after 5 homes were destroyed yesterday. Dare County says 3 homes on Cottage Avenue in Buxton and 2 on Tower Circle Road had fallen. No injuries were reported in yesterday's collapses, and all 5 homes were unoccupied. The entire beachfront from northern Buxton through the northern section of off-road vehicle ramp 43 is closed. 18 beach homes that have been lost in the Buxton and Rodanthe areas in the past 5 years. And now we want to turn our attention to the government shutdown possibility that could happen late tonight into early tomorrow morning. NBC's Ryan Nobles has the latest on negotiations between Republicans and Democrats.
What was once a threat is now a reality.
The bill upon reconsideration is not passed.
A series of votes, all designed to fund the government, failed overnight. Congress pointing fingers.
Republicans are plunging America into a shutdown.
It's a very reckless decision that Chuck Schumer has made.
President Trump yesterday saying he doesn't want a shutdown, but holding firm.
A lot of good can come down from shutdowns. We can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want.
Later, the president posting photos of negotiations with Democratic leaders Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries in the Oval Office. And then another AI-manipulated video mocking Jeffries.
He's an unserious individual.
Democratic leaders calling Trump, quote, erratic and unhinged, and saying that instead of negotiating, he is, quote, obsessively posting crazed deepfake videos. As Democrats hold out, objecting to health care cuts, many Republicans are not optimistic about a deal. Is there any way out?
I don't know. That's what worries me.
The shutdown impacts a broad swath of the federal government. 750,000 workers could face furloughs. Many others, like TSA officers, could be forced to come to work without pay.
It's a high-stress job. We're looking for bombs, weapons, stuff like that, and you can't miss, right? So you don't want officers with added stress.
During the last shutdown, many officers called in sick, leading to delays at major airports. Despite the shutdown, most government benefits like student loans, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security will continue to flow. But many of the workers who administer those programs, like Social Security, will work without pay, which could impact services. National parks and museums could potentially close. The Smithsonian Museum's set to stay open through at least October 6th, but gave no guarantees about what could come after that. All this while President Trump made clear massive federal layoffs are still very much on the table.
But when you shut it down, you have to do layoffs.
And again, that was NBC's Ryan Nobles reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast, where today is yet again another cloudy day. We've had some light raindrops roll by parts of eastern North Carolina. Of course, we're not seeing widespread showers, but there are certainly, again, some pockets of drops coming down. Right now, we've got 70 degrees in New Bern along the Neuse River. North-northeasterly wind coming in at 13 miles an hour. Dew points in the low 60s, but gray as far as the eye can see. Right now, most of the rain activity is stretching from Lenoir County down across parts of really Craven, Jones, and Onslow counties. That's where, again, we're seeing the heaviest drops come in. But even then, they're really not all that heavy. Just looking at some green on the screen. Don't worry, we will see a little bit more sunshine coming in later on this week. Right now, air temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. The further east you go, the better opportunity there is for you to run into some warmer air, at least at this hour. May not be that way throughout the entirety of the day, but we are a little bit cooler than where we are yesterday, at least at this hour. A lot of that has to do, again, with a north-northeasterly wind that's blowing in at a fairly consistent 7 to 15 miles an hour for many inland areas. Those wind speeds get a little bit higher as you get closer to the Albemarle Sound, where we're right now watching sustained winds range between around 15 to 25 miles an hour. Gusts even higher than that. But the northeasterly winds certainly bringing in some of that cooler air. Over the past 24 hours, humidity has dropped substantially along the coast, and even you're probably noticing a drop in that humidity, even if you're watching from an inland location. Right now, dew points down in the low 60s to even in some areas upper 50s, and that is going to make today, at least this afternoon, feel a little bit more comfortable. Now, we will see those winds slowly relax as we make our way through the next kind of 2 days. It's going to take a little bit longer for Imelda, Hurricane Imelda, that is, to fully pull away from the coast. But once it does, the winds across eastern North Carolina will gradually fade. That cold front you're seeing back up towards the northwest, that is going to try to work its way eastward, but it's really not going to get anywhere close to eastern North Carolina. We are going to again be the beneficiaries of a high pressure system later on down the line. Now, Hurricane Humberto, currently 80-mile-an-hour maximum sustained winds, pressure 979 millibars. It's moving northeast at 14 miles an hour. It is barely hanging on to tropical characteristics as we speak. The system is really starting to break apart, fall apart, and kind of form along, kind of embed itself along a boundary front just north of Bermuda, and the Hurricane Center is kind of highlighting that that will remain the case. Hurricane Imelda may stick around a little bit longer as a hurricane, but even then, its impacts on eastern North Carolina will continue to wane over the next few days. Right now, 90-mile-an-hour maximum sustained winds, gusts up to 115 miles an hour, pressure at 974 millibars. This is, again, a system that is still showing relatively decent structure for a Category 1 hurricane. It is moving east, though, at 21 miles an hour. That is great news for us, bad news for Bermuda. But that's a system, again, that's going to continue to work its way away from North America and then become less of an issue for us here in eastern North Carolina, especially along our coastline, where houses continue to fall in along the Outer Banks. Now, here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. Again, far more sunshine coming up for your Thursday and Friday, even Saturday. Air temperatures will gradually start to warm up once we get into the upcoming weekend, but we will hang on to breezy conditions for the rest of today and even tomorrow. But then once those winds die down, air temperatures start to rebound, and we'll be back in the low 80s by the time we reach Sunday and Monday, if not by Saturday. Well, that's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic Wednesday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Supreme Choice.